I played Blood Knight when the class first came out with my 7k account and it was really overpowered. You could literally go through everyone and kill them without dying, plus iframe skills like Sanguinate and Swarm of Bats were able to push or defend the idols. After playing like that for a few weeks, I got bored and changed my class. And a couple of weeks ago they removed the ability of pushing the idols with iframe skills, and that changed the role of Blood Knights in Battlegrounds. Before that change, they were tanks plus damage dealers, but now Blood Knight is the new monk. What I mean by that is now Blood Knight's role is very similar to monks. You sneak into the backlines and try to kill necromancers, wizards and demon hunters. It might sound easy to do, but actually it's not. I switched back to Blood Knights a couple of days ago with my 3k resonance account and I wanted to see how Blood Knight performs nowadays, and the results were not what I expected. I switched to Blood Knight from Necromancer, which has a very different playstyle. It took a couple of games to get used to it, and I can tell you one thing. Playing Blood Knight in Battlegrounds is not easy as it looks. By the way, I am not denying that this class is really strong and probably one of the best classes in the game, but if you don't know what you are doing, you are basically useless for your team. Since you can't really buff your teammates and push or hold the idol, the only thing you have to do is get kills, which can be a little tricky. Because now it's been a while since this class was released, so people got used to playing against it. And if you are not playing against noobs, you have to be really careful. Because if you do it right, you can be the biggest factor of winning, or you might be useless all game long. First of all, Blood Knight is not tanky at all. You can stay alive longer if you use 4-piece mountebank set, but that will drop your damage output, so most of the builds uses 4 pieces of Grace and 2-piece Urge. That means your only defense is iframe skills, Sanguinate and Swarm of Bats. And they recently nerfed Swarm of Bats duration with Solemn Snare Shoulders Essence by 20%, which may not look like much, but you can definitely tell the difference. For example, if you get caught in a CC chain after you engage, you will most likely die, so you can't really dive into the battles without using one of your iframe skills to engage. And that leaves you only with one iframe skill to get out, which can get tricky if you can't time everything right. So if you see a Blood Knight doing well in Battlegrounds, there might be a couple of reasons for that. First, they are just playing really good. Second, they are playing against noobs that don't know how to counter a Blood Knight. And third, their team might be very strong and unbalanced. So as you can see, I'm not saying they are doing good because the class is overpowered. Because it's not. The class itself, I believe, is just fine. But I am not denying that they are still way stronger than some classes like monks, barbarians and demon hunters. I am still hearing people asking for nerfs to Blood Knight, but I think that's not necessary. Instead, they should buff the weaker classes to create a more even fighting field. Well, of course, you don't have to agree with me, these are just from my experience playing with the 3k resonance Blood Knight, and I usually play against players between 2k and 9k. So in my battleground games, my power level is usually closer to the bottom. In conclusion, I just wanted to share my opinions about the class, and I think it's not overpowered in PvP, and no need to really talk about PvE because it's really good. Really close to Necromancer in PvE. Damages are pretty good. Anyways, let me know what do you think about Blood Knights in the comment section. Thank you for listening and take care.